Hey Bricksters, welcome to Loose Bricks here with not so much a review, but what I'm going to do to this set. This is the Lego's Friends Amusement Park Space Ride, which is 195 pieces, set number 41128, and is for ages 6 to 12. Well, age-wise, that's debatable, but anyway, what we're going to do is we are going to modify this set. I'm going to show you as it is, as it comes as a set. There's lots of reviews out there now on this particular set, so I'm not going to go into a review as per se on this set, except for showing you what I'm going to do to it. So we're just going to move the box aside and bring the set in view here. And as you can see, this is the set as it is and how it turns around. Well, that's great. That's great playability, and I love the fact that, they swing out and stuff. Now, we're going to use this in our Disney park. However, we want to motorize it. So, how do you motorize something like this? I thought about it long and hard, and I did come up with a solution. Because I wanted to be able to hide the motor. There'd be nothing more annoying, in my opinion, than having a set like this and having the motor stick out on the top or something and wires hanging out and probably get tangled up within the swing part. So, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to this. First off, we're going to take off the flying spacecraft, and then this part here that spins around, we're going to dismantle this as well. Then we're going to take off the base that spins around, okay? And this is where I thought, well, I didn't know what to do, so I got it in my mind to do this following thing. So we're going to sort of dismantle a whole bunch of this, but it's okay because what we're going to do now is put this piece back on here, like so. So it's stationary, okay? So we're getting rid of the turntable thing, because we're not going to use that. And the purple little pieces, we may use them later on. We'll just put them out of the way for now. So we're going to basically just rebuild it without the turntable. Oops, got to put the crystal in here, the magic crystal. The magic power space crystal. Okay, so now we have the base of it. And if we put this on here, you notice there is no way that this is going to turn around because it's solid now. Okay, so what I decided to do was, I had several different options. So I decided, I have one of these, space balls that was in a Star Wars set before. So I decided to do this following. Well, you see the axles coming out the end of it. Now here's where the tricky part began. I wanted to mount the motor inside this planet. So I did, and here's how I did it. As you can see, I put one axle with just a bushing on each side. That will go on this part right here. Okay, so that'll sit there like so. Now, the motor became the very tricky part on how to mount it inside here. Once again, it was one of those things I had to sit long and hard and ponder over, and, well, it took me several nights of thinking of how to do it. And I just came up with the idea of, mounting it inside, because there is inside here a, 4x4 brick or plate or something like that, because the outside has the studs. So the inside has, the receiving end of it. So it was like, okay, that's the start. The motors themselves have the Technic holes for the pins. So then I thought, okay, so I want to be able to pin it down to give it the strength so that when it torques and spins, it's not going to spin inside the planet itself, the motor that is, and take everything with it, and it's going to look crazy. So I had to come up with a way to mount it up into the top and yet be able to be pinned on the bottom. it's one of these things where you're going from a vertical to a horizontal position, and it becomes very tricky. And also using technique as well. So what I did was I found a piston part from an engine, which is technique, and it has the bore right through it. So that's fantastic. So I pinned it on the side with technique pins, and then I added a couple plates or a straight 1x4, whatever I had, with an angle bracket, 90-degree angle bracket here, and then a couple more plates because I wanted to center the motor, of course. So then I used 1, 2, 3 plates, which is the same as a brick height. So I could use the brick, but I used plates because I wasn't sure where I was going with this when I sort of prototyped it. And here's where the real fun began, because the other side is basically the same. I'll just take the motor plug off there for a second. And then right here, we had the issue, right in here if you can see, of a bottom of a brick and a bottom of a brick. Well, how the heck are you going to join them together? There's multiple ways of joining them together using Lego parts, but to get one very thin as one plate thickness, it's very difficult to find one. Although our friends over at Mega Blocks or Mega Constructs in their sets have a double-sided plate 2x2, and they also have or 2x2s, a 2x1, and they also have 2x2s. So I chose to use one of the Mega Blocks 1x2 or 2x1 plates, double-sided, which has, you know, your studs on both sides to get it to fit it in there and to reverse it. That is one piece that I wish, and I sincerely wish, that Lego comes out with, because, you know, that is a critical piece. There's been ways to get around it, but it's not as thin as that. That's one thing I adore Mega Blocks for, is that particular part in itself. Anyway, that being said, that was able to get this part of the structure made and mount the motor. So then we're able to take that, stick it up into the receiving part, and it will not move around. It's pretty stable, actually, once we put the bushing up on the top of it. And as you can see, if I turn the axle, it really doesn't move all that much. So it stays pretty stable. However, what I might do, because it's going to be in use quite a bit, and, well, the Lego purists out there may not like this, but you know what? I'm sorry. I might put a couple dabs of glue in there just to hold it. They certainly do that at the Legoland parks, and I have talked to Lego certified professionals that also use glue. So, you know, purists, I'm sorry, but we do use it. And that will all fit inside the globe. It's actually quite amazing. What I'm going to do is just put this back up top here on the, pop it out for a second, the motor thing up there, like so, and it will fit nicely down inside this globe, like so, with the axle sticking out. Now, with the axle sticking out and this axle sticking up, creates a little problem. Well, not really, because how do you solve that? You're going to pull this axle out of here and drop it down on top of there, and it'll come up through the top there. Might require another little modification or build. But with that being said, the top will turn around by the motor and we'll spin this around. Now, what I'm going to have to do down here again, purist, please cover your ears, is drill a tiny, tiny hole right there in the middle and run 2 wires up in. They'll go up to the control line C1 and C2 of the motor, which is the 2 middle pins on the power functions. That'll come down and you'll hardly see it, and that will be run to an Arduino, which will control the motor function itself. Actually, there'll be a motor control shield off the Arduino to control that and run this ride. So that's basically what I have done here for this amusement park space ride by motorizing it. I will, down the road, when I get the Arduino and that set up for it, do another video explaining that as well. But that, in the meantime, is how I got the motor in there with it, so you do not see the motor. Now let me just add on the top piece here so you can see it, what it looks like. I just have to sort of take this apart here, which is no big deal because this is what I'm going for anyway. Drop this down on that. Drop the bushing down on top of that. Drop the yellow piece and the top part. And I'm going to have to add a couple pieces up on the top just so this becomes stable. I'll just put another one of these round 4x4 translucent yellow, because I do have them. So let's spin this around and you'll see. I'm going to have to spin it with the motor, and I mean, you can see that it does work. And if the motor is going, the spaceships are going to be flying around the model of the Earth. Well, this is Endor, but it's okay. We'll pretend it's Earth for now, or another planet. And that's the whole idea behind it. Motorizing this ride and having the planet behind it. I think it's pretty cool. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I do sincerely appreciate all your comments. And please, please smash that subscribe button if you already haven't, so that we can build this channel one by one, get it up there, get lots of mocks and do-it-yourselves on this channel, because this was what this channel was all about. I didn't want to really go into the review stages, but I do want to do mocks and do-it-yourselves and also help you people out. So if you have any questions, please feel free to comment down below. It is very important that you do that. You help me, and I'll help you. Until next time, I'm Freddie from Two Loose Bricks. And remember, if you can dream it, you can build it. I would really appreciate it if you would like, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel so I can bring you many more great reviews, mocks, hauls, builds, tutorials, and other wonderful videos.